Hey, what up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? I said, what up, yo? Yo. Hey, yo. I've got an itchy back. He needed scratch. I've got an itchy back. Bitch, where you at? I've got an itchy back. Yo, I needed scratch. I've got an itchy back. Yo, where you at? Come along, don't be late. Real quick, real quick. I feel I'm gon' be sick. Help me out. Where you gone? See it taking long time. That's a big problem. Hold on, wait there. Go and wash your hands. I can see your fucking nose, girl. You need to understand that be dirty. Don't come up under me, tryna put your hands all over my body. Go and wash it, stretch it back. Come on, give me a real attack. Put that down, fix it. In my town, in my house, lay me down. We can do this all the night. I feel it. I don't feel quite exciting. Itchy back, come on, scratch it, please. Itchy back, come on, scratch. Yo, where you at? Come on, scratch my back. Yo, where you at? Come on, scratch my back. Yo, I've got an itchy back. Come on, give it a scratch. Yo, got an itchy back. Come on, give it a scratch. Yo, where you at? Come on, rub my back. Yo, where you at? Come on, rub my back. See you sitting there, playing on your phone.
Demigod, you ain't
Do you know about a stupid boy. He be a man, but he act like a boy. I showed boys some blow-clot toys, they can sit into the corner, and play on his own. This guy, always on his own, picking on people cause he lives on his own. Mama don't like him, family don't want him. Always see him running around, he's fronting. Look frightening, big pop belly. Everybody tells him sit down to watch the telly. Don't be smelly, running up and down like you is a clown, yo. Go throw some bowls, juggle. Look at you, you're always in trouble. Why you acting like you a gangster, you a wankster, can't you see that's the answer? Go and dance, do something, go grow some plants, water them, I don't give a damn, you moving like you out to order, I'm giving you order to go abroad and take a holiday, go spend some money, get paid, stop being gay, all you got to say is rude words, walking and talking to men that be dressing in skirts. Man, I see that your life really hurts. The bomber clock, now what you gonna do when tomorrow comes and God judges you? Stupid ass bones, go eat some damn crumbs and the biscuits that you had the other day, yo. In some trouble, so I'm broke. Look at you a joke. Go and buy yourself a new coat, cause it gon' get cold. Couple months later, look at you be investigated, touching on kids and all to my shit. Now acting like you be the funky type. Fuck you, are you ready to come and fight? I'ma throw them lefts and rights. Make sure I spark you out. You sleeping now, ain't moving for 10 hours. I will devour your soul. Make sure you never come around with control. You is nothing, God took your soul away. Now your body's going to the devil today. I'ma bury you. Get rid of you. Fuck you. We don't like you. Super Saiyan, bitch boy. Now you know the truth. My boys are ready to shoot. Say the fuck out of the booth. Go ahead now, get out. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't got game. Just the boy down. You're secret insane and you're so begun. Big problem. You ain't one of us now. So get out from this industry. This place where we be. Nobody wants to hear that the word can be. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. Trust me, you ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. Stop being so mad. You ain't doing nothing so sad. I'd be so glad to remove you.
NDS, Demigod, Immigrants and Trolls.
I don't understand people sometimes, you know, especially the older they get, you expect them to know more and care. But this is a story about some people that are just mentally deranged or some shit like that. I can't explain it, man. It's so whack, but for real. But yeah, okay. Now, I don't know why you carry on like so, jumping up and down on these YouTube streets, acting like that you really got beat. You never even met up with a nigga like true. Yeah, this story be true. These people on YouTube don't know what to do, sitting in the background acting like trolls. Let alone they ain't got control of their soul. Ain't got nothing to do each day, and acting like they've got jobs every way. You look and they rich and they move like son of a bitches. I see them should be in stitches. I pray all the time when they come around. Say, True Freeman, come out, let's play around. Find them, hunt them down, like we do fox hunts. Yeah, we should jump on them cunts, yo. I swear to God, I'm not the type to front, though. I know I'm kinda loud and proud, yo. I know I will get someone in trouble, but I don't care. People need to march under double, man up. Throw uppercuts, make sure the enemy drop and roll as such. Under cars and shit, that's what I've done before. Make sure that I've broken all their jaws. Yeah, I had to laugh at all of all. Oh my gosh, it was so terrible. But it was then, this is now. I'm grown and I'm showing how we get down. But at the same time, I'm promoting the love. Make sure everybody cares. Make sure they aware though, devil's everywhere though, out here trying to get you scared though. Live in fear, yo, you need the hero. Know the heroes inside you, just do what you do. Stand up, get ready, yo, join the queue. Cause we're about to march outside, fight all of them. Fight all of them, yeah, you see the problem. Why they come around and they're not even holding them skins. Rather come with a pen. Really, I pen no paper with them, so we can beat them all up. Yeah, immigrants, they should have been better than that, intelligent. How they come around trying to touch the kids, jumping over the fence. Man, we see what it is. Get out, get out. We ain't joking no more. I mean, really. Back to the internet though. All these people just wet though, should be literally take out the metal, put it to the neck piece, tell them they must settle. If they don't agree, say bye bye, make them lift to a high.
7DS, Demigod, Immigrants and Trolls. NDS, Demigod, God don't like ugly.
Mistakes in my life, just to
Hey yo, hey, yo, yeah you know. I'm sick of the pain. Are we ever gonna have happy days where I can't come back to this music shit? Yeah, take some love and shit, yeah. It's terrible out on the streets. Everybody's out there trying to compete. Police don't like you no more. Don't wanna satisfy people outside looking help. Listen, now you see the cost we dealt. Government's not on you and telling you now the war is for you. Make sure you jump up, hit them hard like, yeah, on guard like, don't be no fraud like. I'm sick of the ways you all jump up fucking lights, acting like you're doing the right thing, there is right, but then switch on up and go wrong. Show them I'm up here mountain, banging my chest like King Kong. See what you're doing out here. If you wanna change it up, then you gotta come out and move strong. Big boy version, yeah, she a virgin. Yeah, she's the older, she went to church, had a career, now she went to settle. That's how you're supposed to find a bitch, no heckle. Don't be going out here for a young one that that will create some problems. God don't like that. Don't care what religion you subscribe to, they all lie to you. Just be truthful. I've got the proof for you can see in nature. Trust me, don't be a waster following a man's writing. I'm showing you all life's exciting when you do the right thing. Yeah, when you do the right thing.
7DS, Demigod, God don't like ugly. 7DS, Demigod.
Right, I'm just here still trying to decide where to take this stream. You know, whether I want to preach on some evil pedophiles. Maybe I should do both. Maybe I should do both. Because I also want to preach some, like, not preach, but I want to play some, you know, some of that godly content. Maybe I can throw both in. Maybe I can talk pedophile shit and end it with some godly content. Should we do it that way? Or play the godly shit first? Nah, I could just start with. All right. So, like, boom, 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 boom. All right, let's listen. I'm play one more. I'm going to put my intro on.
Yes, Demigod, Poster Boy Jim.
Fat cat. Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Here we go. Yeah. Time to make you know. Yo, yo. Hey. True say, let me tell you a story. One day I was in the hallway. With two Freeman. No lie, made these niggas die on time. Let me tell you one time. Super Jim running from behind, talking dirty shit, acting like he will climb. Never gonna do that. Sit down, boy. I'ma show you how you is a clown, boy. Mama being around, boy, sucking on my lung foot. She told me everything what you do, that means you run around touching little girls like little young age girl. What the hell, like? Why you gonna do that? Right on them young bikes. What's wrong with your life? Is it not precise? Is it like you are nothing? Oh God, I understand. Look at you, you look washed. Why don't you go and take your head off? Oh, okay, everybody tells me that you is gay. That's why you acting that way. Well, you don't get a say in the matter. Run that would brought, grab up the batter, break it over your block clock in the backer. Maybe take it and then try to stab ya. Yeah, it's a factor. I remember your number, never gonna let you wander off into the darkness. You're gonna be right there where I can take care and bully. Yo, push you over the edge and shit. Make sure that you fall on your head and shit. Make sure that you maybe end up dead and shit. I don't care, man. Your study so irrelevant. Why you acting like you damn intelligent? You've never been there. I can see you sit like you only went to white school. That's why you sound like that. But after that effect, you stick to the deck. You will stick to the road. Everybody sees the story. Get being told. Everybody sees you. You just jump like toads, trying to explode, jumping up people's dicks, trying to get known. Yeah, you look like a god unknown, standing on your own, wishing that you had that things to do in your life, but you ain't doing it, to be precise. And I care what you do, cause I'm fucking your mom, that's the truth. Cause when I get her, gonna give me the baby, make her lazy, lay down crazy. Yeah, little Jim boy, the story continues. Little Jim boy, make sure jump on you in a gym, boy, banging the weights on your head, boy. Use the big damn mistake, boy, acting like you can't, boy. Better wait, boy. One dash that style away. But trust me, you ain't gonna live after today. One fool. Stupid, that's a dumb fool. Ain't got no time for you. That's why I'm coming straight for you. Do it real fast, not slow. Like got other things on the roster to go. I got to get this money real fast. Ain't no money kicking this guy ass. Just do it for the yeah. Do it for the pride, the energy. Doing it for the yeah. Do it for the people that know we. We doing it for the yeah, we do out to air. Get out of here, Super Saiyan Jim. Stop hiding, Super Saiyan Jim. Use the fake, Super Saiyan Jim. Don't stop touching kids, not Super Saiyan Jim. Disrespecting mom, Super Saiyan Jim. Look at you, fast, used to be thin. Stupid ass lips in a dustbin. Clown. Go put posters up in town. Beep, cars around. Someone lay that ass down.
7DS, Demigod, Poster Boy Jim.
Good morning, y'all. Hope everyone's blessed and feeling good. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to preach on some, pedophile shit, as usual. Going to bless this godly planet. And then we're going to look at some information that I've been telling y'all about. We're going to go back before the Bible. You know what I'm saying? That you hear the real truths that they hid, that they took out the Bible, that they hid from the people, that was too powerful, it was scared the public. The real Bible, nigga, the real truth. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that too. We're going to get into that. I'm going to wake all your minds up. I want y'all to be on the same level as me. You understand? Because it's lonely out here, You understand? It's lonely. I'm not in the same realm as most people. You understand? There's only a few of us out there. Anyway, so boom, let's talk. What's going on in the UK when it comes to all this paedophile immigrant shit? Let me start from here first. Super Saiyan Jim, I did come to you, I made a live stream not too long back, and I said, good. I don't think I used the words good news for America. I might have mentioned Donald Trump saying something like he's helping pedophiles out. Do you remember that, Jimmy? Do you remember me mentioning something about pedophiles are getting like that's some kind of, do you remember me mentioning something about pedophiles not too long ago, Jimmy? I was like, lucky you or some shit. Remember? Well, you can get rid of that. It's all changed now, nigga. Same with the UK. So what's happening in the UK now? Like, everybody's on the streets. Like, war's about to start. So what the government turned around and done is they're removing all the immigrants without a job. All those immigrants that are sitting in kids' parks, all those immigrants that are just sitting in the hotels, all those immigrants that ain't doing nothing, that they came here and ain't doing nothing, they're saying they're going to get rid of these people. So, Jimmy, I mean, first of all, let me say this. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you things was going to go back to normal, didn't I? I told you. And whether people come up on the streets or not, in America, England, wherever, it was going to go back to normal. It's all part of a play. So anyway, which brings me back to Jimmy. Things don't look too good for you, does it, Jim? Every like just when you think you're in a winning league or you're about to win some shit, it just comes crumbling down for you. You need to go and check out your law, Jimmy. You need to go and check out what they've just updated and all brought into place, nigga. Go ahead. I know it works different from different parts of America and shit, but go and look up anything to do with abuse to kids, pedophilism, harassment on YouTube and shit like that. Go and look up what Donald Trump's done, nigga. Go and look it up. Go and look that shit up. All right. First, I want to put that out there as well too. I'm just trying to get the important news off my head. Like, let me try and get all the you know what I'm saying? What else did I see out there? I think that's about it for that kind of newsy law kind of change. I think that's about it. You understand? But other than that, it's your boy 7. I'm here. Preach God's word when it comes to, protecting kids and shit. You understand? This shit don't last forever, You understand? And one more thing, let me just say one thing about Black America. I hope, right, this means, like, something good for Black communities. Do you understand? I hope y'all get on that law bandwagon so y'all houses are protected, so that shit stops. You understand? So, yeah, man, apply whatever laws about to come in or whatever the fuck, right? Make sure you apply that to your households, man. Don't be afraid to phone the feds if some madness is going on in your household like that. You understand? If you're not going to be the one to do some madness, you understand? Then don't be afraid to phone the feds when it comes to a situation like that. I'm telling you, don't be afraid. There ain't no such thing as a snitch when someone's doing that shit. No such thing. There's no such thing. Okay. Get it out of your head. You're not a snitch. The whole world will support you. If you was to say, ladies, let me say something to y'all ladies. If you was to say, my boyfriend or my, baby father or whatever, right, was do something to the kid, you understand? And, you didn't want to say nothing because you thought it was snitching and, you're scared he was going to do something back to you. The whole world's got your back, A lot of women are in these situations, how many women I spoke to in time that have been in situations where they've been with a certain character, not the pedophile part, but they've been with a certain character and they just can't leave him out of fear alone. You understand? They're going through madness, getting beat up and all that stuff, but they're more scared to leave the nigga. They're more scared than anything else. It's not even about snitching and shit. They're just scared. No. They'll come back and kill me. They'll kill me. He'll kill me. He'll kill me. Like shit. And like, so you're just not ever going to leave this nigga right here? It's like, wow. All right. And not that together, like at that point, like, you still be going around trying to fuck it and all that shit, kicking off a door and shit, But she allows it, lets him in and all that stuff because she don't want the hassle, I guess. I'm talking about one person when I'm supposed to be talking about many, but I've met many in that same predicament, same one. I've had to say I've heard this story so many times. God damn, I feel sorry for you women, man. You women get trapped in these predicaments. You understand? You women find men that want to thump you the fuck up. How come y'all women find men like that? I don't get that. Like. How come there's men out there like that? If I'm not like that, and I have to speak from my own kind of experience, innit? Like, if I'm not like that, I've never done anything like that. Why do other guys need to do that? I'm not saying every guy, but why though? You see, if you can't hold a woman down or whatever the fuck up word I'm trying to look for, and you need to use your fists to put her into place and shit, what does that say? That just says you got no, well, of course you got power once you raise your fist, but it just shows you got no motherfucking, I don't know what, vavoom, nigga. I don't know what word I'm looking for right now. Get me? I've never had to do that. The fuck? The fuck? Well, whatever, man. Whatever. You get different size people, I guess, and whatever in it. Like you get, you know what I'm saying? You get your different strokes and your different folks. But still, that's no excuse. I guess it is an excuse. I don't know. I'm talking too loud at this point. I can't really answer certain questions, can I? I can't really. I'm in my own lane. I'm 6'5", and niggas say I look intimidating, even as an old man, nigga. So I guess I'm the lucky one where I don't have to do that shit. And I wouldn't even do that shit anyway. You understand? I wouldn't even do that shit anyway. Get me? I leave that to folks like Super Saint Jim and that. You get me? You can tell niggas like that hit women. You can tell it. You know that niggas got no power, got no brain. He just sounds stupid. Let's get into the content right now. Super Saiyan Jim, and that's why he got no woman. Why isn't he linked Queenie? I keep calling her Queenie, but you know who I'm talking about. Why hasn't he linked up with Queenie? Huh? He likes white chicks. You get me? He likes white chicks because he was copying Tommy. This is a fact. Listen. I'm not trying to say that he copied Tommy for liking white chicks. No, he's that design, nigga. He's that design. You get me? Like, he likes white chicks. So why isn't he like linking up with Queenie? Why? I'm not even going to start dissing Queenie right now. I'm just being serious. Why has he not linked up with Queenie? Why not? Why not? None of y'all can answer because he's gay. You understand? He's a pedophile gay. That's a fact. You understand? Hey, Jimmy, I keep coming up here and throwing out a lot of facts. You never turn around and say, that's a lie, Seven. That's not a fact, Seven. You're out here putting out all these facts and they're not facts, Seven. You've never once said that. Am I right in everything I say about you, Jimmy? Huh? I'm really eager to know the answer to that. Am I right about the things that I say about you, Jimmy? Normal people would do a video, a live stream or video back saying, yeah, fuck that nigga Seven. You know what he said? He said this and he said that. I can prove that I'm not, nigga. Normal people do that. That's how content's made. But you don't even do that. You go quiet. And when people go quiet, it means it's true. It means it's true. I don't mind it because I'm always right, nigga. But I'm just trying to say, maybe to the dumb people don't realize how truth and false things like work, nigga. When you make a man go silent or he tries to change the question around or run from the question, that means they're lying. That means it's true what the other guy said. Do you understand now, Jimmy? That's how it works, Jimmy. You probably didn't understand that about this whole YouTube thing when you're running around on people's panels just talking shit all the time about somebody just making up blatant lies that we can all see that you're a liar. You see, once you're a liar, Jimmy, you're known as a liar. No matter what panel you go on, people know you're about to go and talk shit, Jimmy. Say I'm lying, Jimmy. Unless you people are different, your brain don't work like that. But something tells me I'm right, Jimmy. Niggas like True Freeman's brain works like that. Niggas like Jake from Jersey's brain works like that. Notice that niggas from Mark from Mingo brain works like that. You understand? Get me? Like I've met other American folks that brains works. What's your excuse, my nigga? I've met them, nigga. Gone back and forth with them, teamed up with them, completed missions with other Americans. Well, what's your IQ? Why is your IQ level so low? Why do you just sound white? Why do you sound like you're about to go and eat a potato? Like, why did you go to the white school and end up being a black fool? Well, how does that make sense? Get me? I went to a white school, you know, Jimmy, but I didn't sound like them, Jimmy. I ran when they was trying to make me sound like, yeah, did it all that shit that you sound like, nigga. I ran, nigga. I was like, I don't want to be here no more, mama. I want to go to the black side. And you know what I did, Jimmy? I moved to the black side. I sure did, Jimmy. This is a true story, Jimmy. What did you do, Jimmy? Did you stay there? Huh? You stayed right there, didn't you, Jimmy? You was like Tommy. You stayed right there, and you was going to the white guys' house parties, and they was pushing you in the cupboards, right, with a black girl, and then turn off the music, and they'd be listening by the doors to hear if you had a kissing and shit, and really you'd be crying like Tommy was, right? I ain't gonna kiss you. Get away from me, bitch. You's black. Is that what you said to her, Jimmy? Or did you have a white girl in the cupboard, Jimmy? Was you the lucky guy that had a white girl in the cupboard so they weren't even listening? Just left you to get on with your own because she a hoe? Help me out, bro. What's your story? I know it's similar to Tommy's. Which one? Is it the white or the black one, nigga? Which story, nigga? Huh? Get me? You funny, man. You a funny bunny. Get me? The disrespect. Listen, Jimmy, white people are known to disrespect their parents. White people are known to say, shut your face, bitch. Mama, I'm gonna take this pie, bitch. Get me? White people are known to do that shit. All we hear is Super Saiyan Jin called his mama bitch. What? Any a black guy? Not with that voice, but yeah, he's black in color. Okay, so he's out there calling his mama bitch. What else did he call his mother? He picked up that the white lingo, didn't he? What else did he pick up? What else did he pick up? I need to speak to his mother. I'll be like, yo, baby girl, what kind of a names does he be calling you over the years? She'd be like, what, they call me a bitch, hoe, hoochie, mama, grayback rib, hey, hooligan. I'd be like, yeah, so he copied Tommy's words and brought it back to the house and called you that. I'd be like, yo, this bitch, hey, I'm gonna save you, mom. I'm gonna save her. I need to save that bitch, man. Understand? She got a coon around her that comes around begging for money each day. I bet you beg off your money, huh? I bet you beg money off your mom. Do you beg? Do you what? Jimmy, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Where do you live, nigga? And we know that you're not working. You get me? So I'm not gonna ask you that question. But like, you still in your car, nigga? You back at your mom's house, or you got your own crib? And if you got your own crib, how you paying for that shit? How you paying for that shit? How you paying for it, Jimmy? You know, it's the difference between me and y'all, yeah. I can talk about cribs and houses and shit and just be disrespectful. Y'all want to try and freaking, what's that word when you get the address and shit out? What's that word called? Expose. No, it's not expose. Dox, in it. Get me? Y'all emphasize on doxing, while I emphasize of just killing your whole stamina, killing your soul. I'll talk about your crib. I'll talk about fucking your mom in your crib. Talk about the state of your crib. How have you got a crib if you got no job? How have you got even something from the state when you're a retard, nigga? Like, I heard that you got bus pass stamps or some shit, or food stamps. That's what it's called. You understand? Like, the fuck you pay for a house if you got food stamps, nigga? Do you cash in the food stamps, nigga, for money, nigga, to pay for the house, nigga? See, I don't understand the American way. So yeah, anyway, let's just keep going. Like, I can just kill you like that. I can stay in that lane and just kill you with bars all day long. You understand? Don't need to know anything about where you live. You understand? I want to know where your mom lives, though, nigga. I am personally concerned about your mother. Get me? I really am. You understand? Get me? And you should be happy that I am. You should be happy that I am. And if you're not, then you're a fucking retard. You get me? You should be happy that I mention your mother. Get me? You should be happy that I show love to your mother. You understand? You should be happy that you got a girl like Queenie that's trying to get love. I don't know why, though. I don't know why. She must be a bit mentally strange still. I'm not even going to diss her, but she must be a bit cuckoo. You understand? It's got to be to pick that one. I have all these niggly bears on here. I have all these niggity bears on YouTube. She wants that nigga, the pot belly nigga with thin arms, nigga, looking like Hugly, nigga. Hugly. I've seen better looking burnt toast. You understand? And that's after you post your finger through it a few times with the holes and dits thing. Get me? Like, for real though, I'm joking, man. Hey man, we're gonna play a song. Be back after this song.
7DS Demigod.
Do you know about a stupid boy? Boy. He be a man, but he act like a boy. I showed boys some blow cloth toys. They can sit into the corner, and play on his own. This guy, always on his own, picking on people cause he lives on his own. Mama don't like him, family don't want him. Always see him running around, he's fronting. Look frightening, big pop belly. Everybody doesn't sit down to watch the telly. Don't be smelly, running up and down like you is the clown, yo. Go for some bowls, juggle. Look at you, you're always in trouble. Why you acting like you a gangster, you a wankster, can't you see that's the answer? Go and dance, do something, go grow some plants, water them, I don't give a damn, you moving like you out to order, I'm giving you order to go abroad and take a holiday, go spend some money, get paid, stop being gay, all you got to say is rude words, walking and looking and talking to men that be dressing in skirts. Man, I see that your life really hurts. The bomber clock, now what you gonna do when tomorrow comes and God judges you? Stupid ass bones, go eat some damn crumbs and the biscuits that you had the other day, yo. In some trouble, so come broke. Look at you a joke. Go and buy yourself a new coat, cause it gon' get cold. Couple months later, look at you. You be investigated, touching on kids and all to my shit. Now acting like you be the funky type. Fuck you, are you ready to come and fight? I'ma throw them lefts and rights. Make sure I spark you out. You sleeping now, ain't moving for 10 hours. I will devour your soul. Make sure you never come around with control. You is nothing, God took your soul away. Now your body's going to the devil today. I'ma bury you. Get rid of you. Fuck you. We don't like you, Super Saiyan. Bitch boy, bitch boy, bitch boy, bitch boy. Now you know the truth. My boys are ready to shoot. Take the fuck out of the booth. Go ahead now, get out, get out. You ain't doing nothing, you ain't got game. Just the boy down, you're secret insane and your soul's the gun. Big problem, you ain't one of us now. So get out from this industry, this place where we be. Nobody wants to hear that the word can be. You ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. Trust me, you ain't saying nothing. You ain't saying nothing. Stop being so mad. You ain't doing nothing so sad. I'd be so glad to remove you. We remove a Jim, Super Saiyan Jim. Look at him so fat. Used to be thin, that's when he's working out. Now look at him, he can't even eat a sprout. The man's got a turkey neck. Just turkey neck.
7DS, Demigod, you ain't saying nothing.
That's right. That's right, Jim. I said you can't eat a sprout with your turkey neck. I know it don't make sense, nigga. I know it don't make sense, nigga. But I still said it. It's freestyle. What'd you expect? Hey, Jimmy, you trying to say my shit ain't getting better? Huh? You trying to say my shit ain't getting better, Jimmy? Huh? I have YouTube to thank for that, though. The whole years of just freestyling constantly. Like, I have YouTube to thank for that, for real. You guys and others before y'all, you understand? Like, for real. And I haven't stopped yet. This is a whole practice. It's all still practicing and still keep going. But anyway, Jimmy. Now, see, Jimmy, right? I was, not to mention True Freeman or get True Freeman involved or anything, you know, I'm just going to speak about it. He was live over there, and like I went over there and I seen he was talking about Bossman and stuff like that, and I liked it. You know, I liked it. I thought True Freeman was being a bit heavy at times. Everybody, like, you know, when True Freeman gets in his mode, he gets in his mode. But that's what I respect about him. He's an individual. That's him. I'm me, and that's him. I have to respect him for what he is and how he got so far in the game and where he's got to. He's got y'all attention, right? So don't sit around hating on the way the man is when you love it. Because if you hated it that much, you wouldn't be giving him attention. So anyway, he was going a little bit hardy at certain times on Bossman and that one. Because I seen the video. I remember it now. Is that the one what Super Saiyan Jim put up? Of Bossman talking or something? Yeah. And Bossman, the part I remember Bossman saying was, whatever you see me do on YouTube, it's just jokes or something. It's not real, or I can't remember what word he used. Whenever I'm blah, 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 it's just, let's use the word content. It's just content. Whenever you see me going back and forth, it's just content. Whenever you see me dissing somebody, it's just content. So I said to myself, oh, okay, is that where it's coming from? But obviously, this could be some kind of like, you know, this could be maybe something deeper in all this, where he's just, you know, just playing the card, where he's, you know, really not about that. He's really attacking. But I thought to myself, oh, is that where it's coming from and all this shit? Or maybe he's waving a white flag. Anyway, so then, yeah, so like, anyway, I was laughing at what True Free was doing. I thought, this nigga's not going to give him a chance. I took Bossman's video as sincere. Do you understand? And when I see True Freeman's reaction, it was like laughing about, hey, my nigga just goes in hard. True Freeman just goes in hard. You understand? Like, yeah, so like, yeah. So anyway, Jimmy, does that hurt seeing the way them two do their thing? Don't you think it's more exciting hearing the content coming from both sides, nigga? Don't you think it's better like that? Don't you think, Jimmy? You can flick out to Chief Freeman and watch his stream and shit, and then at some point, Bossman might put out a video or go live or some shit. The people can go over there. Not saying I did that, But that's the entertainment, Jimmy. That's how it works, Jimmy. That gets people moving. They go to True Freeman, then the whole gang will go over there to Bossman and see what Bossman's saying and shit. Get me? And they all go back and forth. That's excitement, Jimmy. What are you actually bringing? What are you actually bringing, nigga? I've tried my best to be nice to you, just a little bit over time. No, in fact, that's a lie. Okay, that is a lie. All right, that's a lie. I take that back. God slapped me. I'm sorry. That's a lie. All right, but listen, I've said nice things. Okay, I've said hello. No, come live. I've said a few things, everybody, but it don't matter what I said. What I'm trying to say is, listen, nigga, you got no game. You can't fit into this, man. I've tried with you, my nigga. You understand? I've told you to come up here and repent. Come up here and release your sins. Tell everybody the truth with the truth and how you've left that lifestyle. You've left it alone. You no longer got a desire for young girls. How you left it alone? You chose not to do that. You chose to come up and play and do some dumbness. You understand? I know you're a pedophile, my nigga. I know you, bro. I'm not stupid. Do you understand? That's why I don't get fooled by you guys. Do you understand? I'm not stupid. You understand? If I was stupid, I'd play the game with you and act stupid and let you fool me. You understand? But then I would think, you would think I'm a fool, right? So rather than I'll just give you the raw treatment. So yeah, I can just say, yeah, that nigga is just, yeah. You understand? It'll bite your head off. You understand? Because I will bite your head off. I don't give two fucks. You understand? I'll bite your toes off too, nigga. You understand? Don't even get too sexually excited even in the comments, Jimmy. You understand? It's not supposed to be. I'm not about real, nigga. Like, bite that shit off. I get my dog to do. I get my, yo, cat. You want to tag in for me? You want to tag in for me and bite off his toe? Don't look at me. Answer. You're going to tag in? No? You just staring at me. You just go on about your business. Go in the kitchen. Go on about your business, man. Anyway, talking to my pussy right now. You understand? Not the type you lick, Jimmy. Not the type you have sex with, Jimmy. You understand? It's a pussycat, Jimmy. Type that says meow, Jimmy. You've never seen a cat before, have you, Jimmy? What kind of piece of pussies you see? Oh, you know what? One more thing I do want to actually mention. I know I'm jumping back and forth, but that's me in it. Get me? I don't know where to put my full stops and shit and change subjects. Well, listen, Jimmy, right? Get me? I want you to get into a relationship, and I don't even want it to be with Rocket Girl no more because it feels like it's forced. It feels like, I'm pushing it into it, and then she won't think it's genuine because most women are smart like that. You understand? They eventually think, what did that nigga 7 pushing you onto me? So he don't like me, really. But then again, that's a good thing. Yo, bitch. I didn't mean to call you bitch, but bitch, right? Listen, you date the nigga, understand? Then later on down the line, when he starts loving you off, get me? Break his heart. Break his freaking heart. Realize that you're with a retard. You understand? At that moment, I need to realize who you're really with. Get me? Break his heart. Walk away. You understand? Kick him outside to the dust. Get me? That's what needs to happen. He needs to suffer a heartbreak. Jimmy, have you got any kids? Have you got any kids, Jimmy? What's your problem? What's your problem? Go with your kittens, man. Go chill with them, man. Instead of looking in my face, that means you're a best friend. Go in the kitchen. Go in the kitchen. Go in the kitchen. I don't know what you're sitting there looking at me like that for. You can wait. You can wait, man. You can wait. Get me? Especially after your actions yesterday. You can wait. Get me? Hey, you see these damn ass cats? Hey, listen. I'm not even going to get on the cat subject, but they're too damn cheeky, man. Get me? They're too damn think they can do whatever the fuck you want. Get me? And I feed them like some cons. Yeah, hey, listen, you can go and suck on your mama. You understand? Go and suck on Shakima. Come at my face, man. What are you looking at me like that for? What are you looking at me like that for? Anyway, boom. So listen, in a minute, I'm gonna put on some content. Where's my shit? Where is my? Okay, it's over there. In a minute, I'm gonna put on some content. We're gonna. I'm just thinking, which one do I show you? Which one should I show you? Which one? There's so many different chapters. You get me? Yeah, we'll get to that when I put on the laptop. I will break that down, man. But not even break that down. That's a moment for me to be silent. There's nothing for me to add to nothing. That's a moment where we just listen. You understand? Get me? But can I say something that I've learned that is, I think I've already told y'all this. I think I told y'all this already. Well, let me say it anyway. Right. These fallen angels, right, that came to the earth, right, is the reason for all our suffering, our problems, the pain, everything. And you're gonna hear that. It depends which one I play, because I've saved so many of y'all. I mean, I've saved so many different ones of them for y'all to listen to as well. I don't even know if I'll be able to find that right one. You get me? But I might just randomly pick one of them to play so we can all just listen to. But yeah, the fallen angels are the reason for God hating us. Because you see, God didn't want us to know knowledge. God wanted us to stay basically knowledgeless. So he's basically, they want to say the word slave and make it seem bad. But we weren't no slaves like that. You must have mean it's like slave to God. Slave to God. What's wrong with that? We wasn't doing no whatever in heaven. Do you understand? So there's a white man that gives the story of all this, yeah, but the way he says it, it's like, is God really the devil? Because the angels that came down and blah, 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 and gave us all this knowledge, they were saying God didn't want us to have this knowledge. So that means God didn't want us free. He wanted to keep us as slaves. So we're free now. But the thing is now, we're here in the devil's arms. You understand? The devil is our God. The God of this earth, this realm, is the devil. Even the God that we pray to, thinking it's the true God, is not him. It's a demon God. It's a devil. We're going to get into all this and getting excited, everybody. I'm getting excited. I'm getting the laptop. That's right. I'm getting up. I'm getting the laptop. I'm getting the laptop, man. Let me just feed this big cat. I'm going to feed this cat. Oh, let me just feed this cat. I'll be back in a second, people. Let me feed the cat.
NDS, Demigod, Super Gen Food.
Jimmy the coon. Jimmy the bitch. Jimmy the coon. Eat a bitch. Jimmy the coon. Nothing but a bitch. Jimmy the coon. He ain't nothing but a goddamn coon. Jimmy just a little dumb bitch. He ain't nothing but a little coon. Coony. Yeah. Jimmy Super Saiyan bitch. Running around, you should be in the ditch. Yeah, who the folks get the Super Gym? Keeps running, hiding in bins. He's a super cool. Super cool, yo. Super Saiyan Gym, it's a little cool. Coony. Disrespects his mama. Paperwork's touching on little kids. He's a boomer, pedophile. Watch out for him. If you see him, put your hands on him. Retire him. You know why? Because he's a cool. Saiyan Jim's a coon. Check out this dumb big buffoon. Super Saiyan Jim is a coon. Super sucker Jim's a coon. Coon. He ain't nothing but a little coon. Coon, eh? Yeah, coon, eh? Super Saiyan Jim is just a coon. Coon, eh? Yeah, Super Saiyan Jim is just a coon. Coon. Super cool. Look at this stupid ass coon. Ooh. Stupid, super sucker, bitch boy. When the catch is flipping up my toy, I'ma make it deploy. The little kids straight into my head. Oh my gosh, I'ma make it drop. Cause he's nothing, stupid little coon. Coon in the room. Yeah, watch out for that super coon. Coon in the room. Yeah, he is just a coon. Born a buffoon. Sits in the corner blowing up balloon. Super sucker Jim, flying helicopters in his room, plucking paint on people's houses, driving round putting up posters, sleeping in his carnival. Yeah, super duper cool. Super Saiyan Jim is just a fool. Yeah, super cool. Super cool, eh? Yeah. Super cool. He's a super cool. I can get the broom. Can walk up and down this fucking room. Sweet, keep the place clean. You cool. Dumb cool. He's the dumb buffoon. Cool. Super Saiyan Jim's a coon.
Demigod, Super Jim Coon.
Okay, so I'm looking at these titles. So I'm going to tell you some of the titles, right? I tell you what, actually, what we can go to is the real reason God is trapping souls. I think this might be the one I was telling you about. We was just going over a minute ago. Hopefully it is. The hidden knowledge religion tried to keep secret. Don't tell me what's that? Oh, things they don't tell you about the Baphomet. Okay, all right. So we're gonna play the God trapping souls one. Hopefully that will have that knowledge that I was just trying to graze over. I've also got another one. Remember when I was talking about the black woman is God thing the other day? Well, one of the gods, right? Especially the God of nature, like I said, and the God of like, you know, romance, love, putting soul, what is it? Putting life, God of life. The woman is the God of life, right? That's what it is, yeah. God of life. And she comes in this golden aura. She comes down in this golden, shiny aura, and so does Jesus. Jesus comes down in the same golden aura. And this one tells you that the woman and Jesus is the same. The woman come down first, way before Jesus, and then Jesus comes down centuries later, and she said, the woman, oh, but you know what? We're going to have to play it. We just have to play it. We'll have to just play it, man. All right, so we're going to start with this one first. We're going to start with the reason God traps souls. We'll start with that one first. Okay, we'll start with this.
You can choose to raid the caravan,
Turn it up.
or you can choose to guard it. This is a game where slaying monsters are in his sleep, to the effect that what happened before God said, "Let there be light." A book banned from the Bible reveals what happened before creation, before Genesis, and how nothing in this world is what it seems. It exposes that this world is actually a prison and that God is the warden, trapping souls on earth. It uncovers the real reason for the war.
Now, please, let me just say this, TR. Remember how I told you I've got this white guy also giving his interpretation? Well, this is the guy now. Now, he's going to be saying it in a way like we was kept as slaves and the angels came down and rescued us out of that with this knowledge. All right. So he's going to paint it in that kind of way. All right. But I could take it to a black person and it sounds completely different the way it's said with them. Completely different. But anyway, let's carry on. Sorry about that. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Warden, trapping souls on earth. It uncovers the real reason for the war in heaven, and that Jesus didn't come here to save us from sin, but to expose the greatest secret of all time. And this secret is about your power, a power that's so great that it actually terrified the one that's pretending to be God. On the Origin of the World is an ancient Gnostic text, and it's so controversial that the church buried it for centuries. And no wonder this text claims that the whole Genesis story is basically propaganda, fake news, a cover-up to keep you from discovering the truth about what you really are. What if the biggest conspiracy of all time was the Bible itself? See, this forbidden text is a coded guide to understanding how you can reclaim your divine nature right now. Sound crazy? Well, it gets crazier. Now, I'm going to warn you, this story gets dark, and I mean really dark. We're talking about a God who traps humans and then rigs the game so that you never figure out how to escape. It basically makes you wonder if Saw was inspired by the Old Testament. But here's the good news. It's not all doom and gloom, because in this story is the key to liberation, a way to wake up from the nightmare and reclaim your divinity. On the Origin of the World is a text that was discovered in 1945, buried near the tombs of Egypt, and it dates back to somewhere around the 3rd century CE, and it begins by telling the reader that most people believe nothing existed before chaos and darkness. The text says, everybody, gods of the world and mankind, says that nothing existed prior to chaos. I shall demonstrate that they are all mistaken. Welcome to the secret history before Genesis. My name is Morg. I'm an ex-Christian revealing hidden knowledge the church doesn't want you to know. And On the Origin of the World reveals a hidden reality before creation, where all that existed was an eternal realm of pure light. There was no conflict, no darkness, no suffering, just pure divine harmony. And guess what didn't exist yet? The God of the Bible. He wasn't even around. In this account, the real eternal force, the true God, wasn't a person, wasn't some figure in the clouds, but pure light itself, the source, what the Gnostics called the One. Now, things start to take a turn here, because this perfect realm of light didn't just sit there. It began to emanate rays of its divine light. But get this, these rays were actually beings called eons, and each of these eons reflected different aspects of the source. Now, these eons were infinitely more powerful than any angel or any god. In fact, no angel or biblical god even existed yet. The eons worked together in perfect harmony. But the thing is, there's always a shadow waiting to come out. And now, my friends, welcome to the beginning of this cosmic drama. So enter Sophia. Now, her name means wisdom, and Sophia was one of the eons, and she was pretty badass. She was a powerhouse of creation. But unlike the other eons, Sophia was different. She didn't want to play by the rules. And what I mean by that is that in this perfect realm, all the eons created in pairs. They maintained...
Right. I just need to pause and say something. You notice how he's talking about a woman? You know he's talking about the woman at first. Let's back it up. People need to understand when they're saying man this, man that. No, woman was the first. Woman was the first to creation from the source. All right. So the female is God. Whether you like it or not, you can suck eggs. He's just told you from the source came the woman. Told you that. Okay. Which makes perfect sense. When they argue back and forth with this is stupid. But anyway, I'm sorry, everybody. Let's cut this.
Rays were actually beings called eons, and each of these eons reflected different aspects of the source. Now, these eons were infinitely more powerful than any angel or any god. In fact, no angel or biblical god even existed yet. The eons worked together in perfect harmony. But the thing is, there's always a shadow waiting to come out. And now, my friends, welcome to the beginning of this cosmic drama. So enter Sophia. Now, her name means wisdom, and Sophia was one of the eons, and she was pretty badass. She was a powerhouse of creation, but unlike the other eons, Sophia was different. She didn't want to play by the rules. And what I mean by that is that in this perfect realm, all the eons created in pairs. They maintained...
Okay. I was wrong, everybody. I'm thinking about the wrong part, everybody. Sorry, I have to say that. This is the wrong... There's another one that you have to see where from the creation came the woman. You have to see that one. But I thought this is the same one he's talking about. It's not.
Perfect balance. And Sophia, well, she wanted to create something on her own. Well, this is where everything falls apart because she acted in a way that was imbalanced. And so what she created wasn't harmonious like the others. No, this wasn't a shining light or beautiful idea. What she created was shadow, a malformed, chaotic force. And this was kind of like a divine glitch in the Matrix, a cosmic mistake that couldn't be undone. But this shadow wasn't just some harmless byproduct. It was a living, breathing force of chaos. It was an anomaly, a being of darkness that couldn't harmonize with the eternal realms of light. Now, for the first time, reality wasn't unified. This shadow introduced conflict, division, imbalance, and a chain reaction that would ripple through everything. But here's the worst part. This shadow, it didn't just sit there. It wanted power. So from this shadow would come the self-proclaimed God of the material world, a being that was so arrogant, so envious, and so blinded by its own arrogance that it would dare to declare itself the one true God. And this is where things really take a turn here, because Sophia, the divine being of wisdom, she acts without permission, creates a shadow, and then from that shadow, a being known as Yaldabaoth is born. Now, the Gnostics describe Yaldabaoth as having the body of a dragon, the head of a lion, with eyes that flashed like lightning bolts. Now, Yaldabaoth isn't totally aware of the realms of light, but he can sense that there's something out there greater than him, and so he gets jealous. He looks around at the void and sees nothing but himself, and so declares, "I am God, and there is no other." Now, if this sounds familiar, it should, because that's what God says in the Bible all the time. A lot. Sounds to me like someone needs a therapy session. Now, this is where the Gnostics would say that Yaldabaoth goes horribly wrong. Declaring himself the one true God, that was a big mistake. In the Gnostic view, this isn't an act of power, it's sin. Because according to them, we're all divine. We'll get to that in a moment. But every one of us is a fragment of the eternal light. So for one being to say, "I'm the only God, worship me," is essentially the worst sin possible because it denies the divinity of everything else. On The Origin of the World says, "And when he said this, he sinned against all the immortal beings." In other words, congratulations, you're the first one to commit blasphemy. So what does Yaldabaoth do with his newfound delusion?
Stop risking your own money trading. Instead, discover how to access up to $1 million.
So what does Yaldabaoth do with his newfound delusion of grandeur? Well, he decides to create, and he takes the formless chaos around him, matter without spirit, and shapes it into heaven and earth. But this isn't some grand, benevolent act of creation like how it's described in the Bible. This is a being trying to make a throne for itself. Now, Yaldabaoth doesn't stop at creating heaven. He decides to make some offspring, because every self-proclaimed God needs minions and henchmen, right? And so get this, he names them, it's kind of weird, by the sounds they make as they're born. So when one of them goes E, Yaldabaoth decides, great, your name is Iao. And his second son says, eh, and he gets named Eloi. And the third, he makes a sound like ass. Hey, I didn't write this. So naturally, he's called Astaphios. I mean, you really can't make this up. Now, there was another son whose name was Sabaoth, and he's extremely important, so we'll get back to him in a minute. But altogether, these beings of darkness form what are known as the 7 archons, and they're not exactly the Justice League. Archon literally means ruler, and they're described as androgynous, embodying both masculine and feminine traits. Now, this is a theme that you're going to see a lot in Gnosticism, the unification of opposites. But don't let that fool you into thinking that these are some balanced, enlightened beings. No, these are the architects, the rulers of chaos. So while these beings are inherently chaotic and destructive, they're also modeled after the divine pattern from the higher realms. It's kind of like someone took a perfect blueprint and made a distorted, glitchy version. They're powerful, sure, but they're not divine. See, On the Origin of the World flips everything on its head. Heaven and earth aren't divine creations, but malformed prisons made by a delusional being. And the angels? Not divine beings, but archons, rulers of chaos. Even Yaldabaoth, this supposed god, is revealed to be blind, arrogant, and totally unaware of the higher realms of light. It's no wonder the church didn't want this narrative floating around. See, the Gnostics weren't just spinning wild tales for the sake of it. These stories are metaphors for the human condition and for the struggles that we face in understanding who we really are. So as we peel back the layers of this story, you're going to see how it's actually transmitting a deep secret about your true self. What is that secret? We'll get to that. But first, what if the real war in heaven wasn't about Lucifer rebelling against God out of pride, but something else entirely? Let's talk about Sabaoth. Now, he's interesting. This is Yaldabaoth's son. So Yaldabaoth, the god of the Bible, just got done creating the heavens and the earth and the angels, or archons. And there's Sabaoth just hanging out in Yaldabaoth's do-it-yourself chaos-fueled universe. But he hears something that changes everything. See, Yaldabaoth is there in the middle of this creation, and he's getting a kick out of all the angels worshiping him. And so what does he do? Well, the usual. He tells him that he's the only God. The text says, and he was honored by all the army of angels. He was delighted and continually boasted, saying to them, "It is I who am God, and there is no other." But guess what happened? His mommy heard him, and she was pissed. The text says, when Sophia saw the impiety of the chief ruler, she was filled with anger. She was invisible. She said, "You are mistaken, Samael," that is, blind God. So being called Samael is like being called by your full name when your mom's pissed. She was calling him blind and ignorant. But guess who heard her? Sabaoth. So Sophia's basically like, "Hey kid, your dad's a fraud." And Sabaoth actually gets it. He sees through all the lies and the chaos. And it's kind of like when someone finally realizes that they're in a pyramid scheme or some weird cult. Sabaoth actually praises Sophia. And so in response, Sophia gives him some of the power of the realms of light. How cool is this story? He suddenly becomes illuminated. And the text says that because of this new power, he's now called the Lord of Armies. Now, this is pretty much an act of cosmic mutiny, and this starts a great war in Yaldabaoth's heavens. Now, you'll notice that sounds a lot like the revolt of Lucifer, but unlike the Christian version here, the Lucifer figure is the hero, and God is the villain. See, Sabaoth isn't some prideful, power-hungry bad guy trying to overthrow God. He's more like the rebellious kid who finally realizes, hold on a second, my dad's actually an abusive control freak who lies to everyone. I don't need to stick around for this bullshit. Now, here's where things take an unexpectedly romantic turn. So Sophia doesn't just give Sabaoth divine light and call it a day. She also introduces him to her daughter, Zoe, whose name literally means life. And let's just say Sabaoth falls hard. So together, Sabaoth and Zoe form a cosmic power couple, and she teaches him about the higher realms. With his newfound power and knowledge, Sabaoth creates a mansion that's 7 times better than any of the heavens Yaldabaoth could make. This is like the ultimate moving out of your parents'
You know what they meant? You have to ask the manifold sets of people. Why is it always the women, the teachers? Yeah. Why are the women the teachers if the women ain't doing shit? You know what? I'll ask him myself.
Basement story. And Yaldabaoth is pissed and terrified. His own son, the one he thought he controlled, turned against him, aligned with Sophia and Zoe, and now has a realm that's more incredible than anything he could ever make. But Yaldabaoth is about to strike back. How? With death itself. Let me explain. And by the way, if you've made it this far, congrats. You're in deep now. And if you want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes, then like and subscribe, because there's a lot more to check out. And also check out my books in the description of this video before the Archons censor it. So let's set the stage here. Sabaoth, Yaldabaoth's rebellious son, has just pieced out, ditched his dad's chaotic, matter-filled kingdom, and joined Team Sophia in the higher realms of light. He's shining with wisdom. He's got Zoe as his partner, and he's building a realm that puts Yaldabaoth's crappy creation to shame. And Yaldabaoth is not happy. This guy cannot handle rejection. So what does he do? He creates death. Now, do you actually see how cool the metaphor of balance here? His son runs off with Zoe, who is life, so Yaldabaoth creates death. I mean, it's a dick move. He's basically trolling, but you got to admit the theme of balance of life and death is really beautiful. But wait, it gets better here.
You don't talk about balance all the time, y'all.
Because death, according to the Gnostic text, is an androgynous being, because Of course it is. This is Gnosticism, where duality is everywhere. And this androgynous death doesn't just stop at existing, it gets busy. It mixes with its own nature, if you know what I mean, and spawns 7 offspring who are also androgynous. So each of these 7 have both a male and female name. These aren't just any kids, though. Meet the worst family ever. The male offspring of death are envy, wrath, weeping, sighing, mourning, lamenting, and groaning. And the female offspring of death are lust, grief, bitterness, cursing, sighing, again, because apparently death needs extra sighing, I don't know, quarrelsomeness. And these are all the archonic forces. These are the spiritual shackles that keep humanity enslaved. But, and this is the beautiful part, Gnosticism also teaches that death isn't the end, it's just another layer of the illusion. You see, Yaldabaoth wasn't just insecure, he was terrified, and somewhere deep down, even this false god had a suspicion that something greater than him did exist before him, and that haunted him. So what did he decide to do? He decided to test the universe. On The Origin of the World describes this, and Yaldabaoth says, if anything has existed before me,
stop risking your own money trading. Instead, discover how to access up to 1.
If anything has existed before me, let it appear so that we may see its light. So what happens? Immediately, a blinding light shines forth from what's called the 8th heaven, piercing through all the layers of reality, cutting through the heavens, and a human form appears within it. A being that's so incredible that Yaldabaoth was shook. This wasn't just any human. This was Adam, Eye of Light. Now, let's get one thing straight. When I say Adam, I'm not talking about some guy made out of dirt wandering around with a fig leaf. See, the original Adam wasn't made of flesh, but of pure light. Think of him as the perfect human prototype, not a mortal creature, but a luminous, immortal God. Now, what this means is he was the reflection, the blueprint of what humanity was supposed to be before it got trapped in the material world. And what did this divine human do? While Yaldabaoth was busy creating the material world like a bad Minecraft server, Adam, Eye of Light, created an entire vast eternal realm. And just to make sure there was no confusion about who had the better design skills, Adam added 6 more eternal realms inside that one, and it says that each one was 7 times better than anything Yaldabaoth had ever made out of his chaos realm. That's right, 7 times better. And Yaldabaoth was pretty mad. At this point, Yaldabaoth's whole I am God thing and no one exists before me is starting to sound like a pretty bad comedy routine. Even his own minions start roasting him. The rulers of chaos, his own guys, the Archons, look at Adam, Eye of Light, and then turn to Yaldabaoth and they laugh. The text says, the authorities saw him and laughed at the prime parent because he had lied when he said, it is I who am God and no one existed before me. They even go so far to say, is this not the God who ruined our work? Now notice how even the Archons here are acknowledging that this human of light is a God. Yaldabaoth tried to save what little dignity he had left, so he came up with a plan. If he couldn't get rid of Adam, he was going to try and do the next best thing he could think of, contain him. So this is what Yaldabaoth said to the Archons. He answered and said, yes, if you do not want him to be able to ruin our work, come, let us create a man out of earth. No longer will he ruin our work. Rather, we shall make those who are born out of the light our servants for all the duration of this eternal realm. Basically, he was saying, oh crap, this guy's more powerful. Let's try and trap him before he ruins everything. And so the Archons tried to make their own version of Adam. But what happens when a fake god tries to copy the real thing? Well, they didn't have any idea what they were doing. They're beings of death and destruction, not life. So they completely misunderstand the assignment because the human that they try to make is a hollow copy. It's a lifeless, soulless meat suit that just sits there, useless, like an unplugged robot. And when the Archons saw that their creation was lifeless, they left it, abandoned it, like a broken toy. Now, for 40 days, it just sat there, soulless, unmoving, because they had no idea how to give it real life. But Sophia did. In fact, Sophia had a plan. See, before the Archons even made the physical body of Adam, Sophia let a drop of her light fall, and it became a human of light. And guess what this human's name was? Eve. But get this, her name is Eve of Life. And it's actually Sophia's daughter, Zoe, in the form of a human of light. I know, it's a little confusing, right? So let's get this straight real quick. There's Sophia, and she's the one who accidentally gave birth to the chaotic shadow realm. There's Zoe, who is Sophia's daughter and the partner of Sabaoth. And then there's Eve of Life, who is Zoe in the form of a human of light. So why is all this even important? Well, what if Eve was never meant to obey, but to create? Remember, the physical body of Adam is just laying there lifeless. So Sophia sends her daughter, Eve of life, to give life to Adam. And that's exactly what she does. Yeah, so according to On the Origin of the World, Eve wasn't made from Adam's rib. Eve was a goddess of life, and she's the one who gave life to Adam. The text says, Adam, having arisen, suddenly opened his eyes. When he saw Eve, he said, "You shall be called mother of the living, for it is you who have given me life." But there was a consequence.
See that? And that's why they had to take it out the Bible, yo. Mother of the living. Adam and Eve story. Nobody looks at Adam and Eve as mothers of the living. Or do they? Do they? I don't think. I've never heard that term. But they've removed that from the Bible, so obviously they don't want the woman to have that respect, obviously, or the ones who removed it, right?
To this. See, the true human, the divine spark, was now trapped in matter. And just like that, Yaldabaoth's scheme was complete. By creating a physical body, he created a system to ensnare the light within physical forms, keeping us locked in bodies that suffer, age, and forget.
Missing teeth ruin your life. I know because I work with patients daily who have lost all or
keeping us locked in bodies that suffer, age, and forget our true origin. And he did it so that we would serve him instead of awakening to our real power. Now, hold on. You might be wondering why the hell Sophia would send Eve to give life to Adam then. I mean, that seems weird, right? Why would she be trapping souls? Doesn't it seem like that's what she's doing? Well, not necessarily. See, she had a plan. Sophia believed that by infusing light into the darkness of matter, it would ultimately undo all the evil of creation, that it would destroy it from the inside out. Earlier, Sophia says to Yaldabaoth, "There is an immortal man of light who has been in existence before you, and who will appear among your modeled forms. He will trample you to scorn, just as potter's clay is pounded." See, Yaldabaoth thought he was making a servant, but what he actually did was create a walking time bomb, a time bomb of divine knowledge. Divine light itself was now imprisoned in a cage of flesh. And if that light ever woke up and realized what it was, game over. See, from this moment on, the battle lines were drawn. Yaldabaoth and his archons wanted to keep humanity ignorant, blind to what they really were. But Adam, Eye of Light, was the blueprint, the reminder of what we actually are. So hold on just a minute, because let's think about things from the Archon's perspective here. They tried to make Adam, but he just lay there lifeless. So they ditched him. But when they came back, they see that he's somehow come to life. And then there's Eve, this luminous being of light, and they have no idea who she is. So naturally they freak out because they realize that Eve is similar to Sophia. So they come up with a really gross plan. Basically what they decide to do is defile her, by forcing themselves on her, because they believe if she mixes with darkness, that she won't be able to return to the realms of light. Then
remember, I was telling you this about how they forced herself, they raped her. I believe it was a different, she duplicated herself, and they just had the human, so they was like raping a human woman version of her. Like, remember when I told you this the other day? God damn. Demons were raping.
They plan to lie to Adam, saying that Eve came from his rib. On the Origin of the World says, the Archon said, "What sort of thing is this luminous woman? For she resembles the likeness which appeared to us in the light. Let us bring a deep sleep over Adam, and let us instruct him in his sleep to the effect that she came from his rib, in order that his wife may obey and he may be lord over her." But Eve, being the ultimate badass she is, literally laughs at their plan. So what does she do? She blinds the Archons and leaves a lower version of herself with Adam, and then enters the Tree of Knowledge. So when the blind Archons come after her, she reveals herself as the Tree of Knowledge itself, and they completely lose it and run like cowards. So the Archons have a problem. A big problem. Despite their attempts to play God, they're starting to realize that humanity, their creation, isn't as submissive as they hoped. There's a spark inside Adam and Eve, something that wasn't part of the original make humans dumb and obedient plan. So what's a bunch of cosmic, insecure tyrants gonna do? They try to terrify them into submission. The rulers gather together and they go up to Adam and Eve. Now remember, this Eve is now a lower physical version of Eve, not the higher Eve of life. But when they go up to Adam and Eve, they don't act like vengeful gods of wrath. Get this, the text actually says they come in acting timid, like nervous salesmen on the first day trying to con you into a pyramid scheme. On the Origin of the World says, they came up to Adam and Eve timidly. They said to him, the fruit of all the trees created for you in paradise shall be eaten. But as far as the tree of knowledge, control yourselves and don't eat from it. If you eat, you will die. Now, of course, this is a total scam. They just don't want you to realize your own divinity. So the Archons need Adam and Eve to stay ignorant or it's game over for them. And how do you keep people from questioning their reality? Fear. Sound familiar? Kind of like what's going on today. But here's another question. Remember the serpent in the Garden of Eden? What if the serpent wasn't the villain, but the hero? Let me explain. The higher Eve, Eve of life, is about to ruin the Archon's plans. Now remember, the higher Eve is not the physical version of Eve that she left with Adam. Now the text says that she appears as the beast, which is almost certainly referring to the serpent. But it also says that her real title is the instructor, and the Archons just call her the beast because, well, they're assholes. So Eve of life, as the serpent, goes over to the lower version of herself, the physical Eve and Adam, and says, what did God say to you? Was it, do not eat from the tree of knowledge? The physical Eve replies, not only did he say, do not eat from it, but do not even touch it or else we will die. And here's what she tells them. The instructor said to her, do not be afraid. In death you shall not die, for he knows that when you eat from it, your intellect will become sober and you will come to be like gods. Indeed, it was in jealousy that he said this to you, so that you would not eat from it. Now Eve, the human Eve, the physical Eve, hears this and it clicks. She looks at the tree again, but this time differently. And so she takes the fruit and she eats it, and she gives some to Adam and he eats it too. And in that moment, their eyes were opened. And this is about seeing the world for what it really is. The illusion shatters. Eating from the tree wasn't the first sin, it was the first act of liberation. Remember when the Bible says they realized that they were naked and ashamed? On the Origin of the World reveals that this nakedness wasn't in an oops, we forgot our pants kind of way. It was a metaphor for them realizing that they had been naked in knowledge. And they recognized that the Archons, the rulers, the gods that made them, that they're not gods at all. And what did they think of the so-called God and his Archons now? Well, the text made it crystal.
So if you want to make a remote income from home, and you're a beginner, meaning right now you have a...
I did say to y'all, didn't it, that what God made was sinning. I did say that.
And what did they think of the so-called God and his Archons now? Well, the text made it crystal clear. It says they loathe them. They were very aware. By the way, did you know that the movie The Matrix was inspired by all this? The humans in The Matrix are the trapped souls. The agents are the Archons. And the fruit of the tree of knowledge, that's the red pill. Tell me in the comments if you want a video about all that. But anyway, Adam and Eve, they just took the red pill and figured out what was going on. And you know the Archons weren't going to take this well. The second they realize what's happened, they totally lose it. Earthquakes, threats, the whole fire and brimstone act. Adam and Eve, now aware, panic and hide, not because they're guilty, but because they know what's coming, that the Archons are pissed. And sure enough, the Archons show up demanding answers like some divine police force that just got outsmarted by the people they were trying to control. Yaldabaoth and the Archons want answers. And Adam is still pretty scared, and he points to Eve, who in turn points to the instructor, or the serpent, and it's total chaos. But the authorities couldn't do much to the instructor, so they curse Eve, her offspring, Adam, the earth, the crops, pretty much everything they can think of. Their curses are petty and desperate. They know that they've lost the upper hand here, and the Archons get even more paranoid. They see Adam and Eve as threats because they've gained knowledge. And what terrifies them the most? The possibility that Adam and Eve might eat from the tree of life and become immortal, fully divine beings. So what do? They kick Adam and Eve out of paradise and place fiery angels with flaming swords to guard the tree. But again, it's all part of the plan. Even in exile, Adam and Eve carry the light within them. The rulers can curse and control the physical world all they want, but they can't extinguish the divine spark. But now let's talk about how Zoe gets her revenge. Remember her? Just as a reminder, because it can get kind of confusing here, there's Sophia, her daughter Zoe, then Eve of life, who's basically Zoe in the form of a divine human, and then the physical, material version of Eve. So Zoe is pretty pissed because the Archons are basically fucking with the lower version of herself in Adam. So she sees what the rulers of darkness have done, cursing humanity, trapping them in ignorance, and basically making the earth their personal playground of suffering. She's not having any of it. So with her full divine might, she casts the rulers down into the world of matter. She traps them in the very realm that they were trying to dominate. So they're no longer rulers in their lofty heavens. They're now reduced to demons sulking around the earth and manipulating humanity from the shadows. It's pretty fitting. It's a poetic justice. The jailers become prisoners themselves. But Sophia and Zoe don't stop there. They orchestrate a plan that's been in motion since the beginning of time. A plan to overthrow these rulers of chaos and liberate humanity once and for all. Because here comes Jesus, the Savior. But this is not the Jesus that you would recognize from Sunday school. This is the Gnostic Jesus, a revolutionary, a disruptor, and the ultimate opponent of the God of the Bible. See, in the Gnostic view, Jesus wasn't sent by the God of the Old Testament. In fact, he was sent to oppose that God. The God who drowns the world, demands sacrifices, and rules through fear, that's Yaldabaoth. And Jesus' message is a challenge to everything Yaldabaoth stands for. He comes here not to want worship or obedience, but to wake humanity up to its true divine nature. While Yaldabaoth says, I am a jealous God and there is no other, Jesus says, you can become like me. See, Jesus' mission is to tear down Yaldabaoth's kingdom of lies and free the divine spark in everyone. By bringing knowledge, the text says, now the word that is superior to all beings was sent for this purpose alone, that he might proclaim the unknown. He said, there is nothing hidden that is not apparent, and what has not been recognized will be recognized. And these were sent to make known what is hidden and the seven authorities of chaos and their impiety, and thus they were condemned to death. Now things are about to get real, because guess what? On the origin of the world ends with the end of the world. So how does it all end? What's the finale to all this cosmic drama? Well, first, in order to understand what it really means, there's something you need to know. So you might be wondering, did all of this actually happen? Am I sitting here saying that there was actually a lion-faced God throwing a tantrum like an asshole CEO of heaven? That Adam of Light built himself a 7 times better universe, like some cosmic celebrity? Or that Eve was walking around as both a woman and a talking serpent at the same time? Well, no. Not exactly. But before you breathe a sigh of relief here, let me hit you with something that's actually a lot more shocking. This is all happening inside you. Here's the thing. Ancient people weren't dumb. They weren't sitting around making up stories about lion gods and forbidden fruit just for fun. They were trying to explain something huge, something that people still haven't figured out today. These stories, they're not about history. They're about you. They're about what's happening inside of you right now, every single day. Gnosticism was never just about gods and cosmic drama. It was about the mind, about the struggle between ignorance and awareness, about waking up to who you really are. So let's break it down. Yaldabaoth, the blind, arrogant ruler who says that he's the true God, that's your ego, the voice in your head that says, I'm in control. I know everything I need to know. I'm the center of the universe. Yeah, that ego is blind. It thinks that it's the source of everything, that nothing existed before it. But deep down, it's actually terrified that something greater exists outside of it, that it's not able to control, that it's not the highest power. And what does the ego do when it's scared? It lies. It creates illusions. It builds entire systems to keep you distracted so you don't realize the truth about yourself. Then there's Adam, Eye of Light. This is the blueprint of what you could become. In other words, it's your higher self. This isn't about some floating, glowing guy in the 8th heaven. It's the part of you that knows better, the part of you that sees through the illusions, the part that knows that you're more than your thoughts, your fears, your insecurities. It's what you can become. But here's the problem. Your ego, Yaldabaoth, doesn't want you to realize this higher self exists, because if you do, game over. You stop living in fear. You stop believing the lies. You wake up. And what does the ego do? It creates a fake version of you, a shell, a programmed identity, a personality shaped by external forces. That's the earthly Adam, their version of you stuck in the system, believing whatever the world tells you to believe, the one who forgets who they really are. Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because it has to do with the most misunderstood character in this whole story, Eve. Because Eve isn't just a person here. She's a process. Eve is intuition. inner wisdom, that little voice in your head that says, hey, something's not right here. She's the moment that you start questioning everything. And when the archons, your fears, doubts, and programmed beliefs say, don't eat from that tree, don't ask questions, don't seek knowledge, just obey. And what it
Damn you, Eve. Damn you. That's why I get stressed off the woman all the time. Just question and question. Damn you, Eve.
Eve do, she calls BS. Adam and Eve end up.
This is a very interesting tool, a multifunctional laser light with powerful features similar to a firearm.
Adam and Eve end up eating from the tree of knowledge, and they wake up, the illusion shatters, and suddenly you see the world and yourself as it really is. Now, let's talk about the biggest scam in history, the fall of man. Because if you really think about it, Adam and Eve didn't fall. They rose. They gained knowledge. They saw through the lies. They realized their own power. And how does the system react when someone breaks free? Panic, earthquakes, curses, divine threats. The archons freak out and do what every controlling power structure does when it loses control. Now, this sounds a lot like what happens today when people break out of any system of control, doesn't it? So with all this in mind, what does the end of the world in our story mean? Well, On the Origin of the World says the archons' days are numbered. When humanity starts to wake up, the text describes their downfall, their heavens collapsing, forces consumed by fire, and the entire realm of darkness obliterated. It says, their heavens will fall one upon the next, and their forces will be consumed by fire. Their eternal realms, too, will be overturned, and his heaven will fall and break in two. Then it describes how the light within us will triumph and return to its source, and the glory of the light will fill everything. Humanity, finally free from the ruler's influence, will enter the kingless realm. But what does the kingless realm mean? Remember, this whole story isn't about something that literally happened in the past or an actual physical event in the future. It's about something that's happening all the time inside of you. The ego, Yaldabaoth, wants to keep you asleep, trapped in illusion. It wants you to stay busy, distracted, afraid, not questioning anything. The higher self, Atom of Light, is the part of you that knows something out there is greater. It's waiting for you to recognize it. It's your higher self. And Eve, the instructor, is that spark, that voice that urges you to ask and seek and awaken. So what's the kingless realm? It's a state of consciousness where we've mastered ourselves. It's a place with no rulers because we rule ourselves. It's the kingless realm. Now, here's the most important part to remember about all this. Every time you choose fear over questioning, you obey the archons. You let them rule you. Every time you choose comfort over truth, you stay trapped in their system. But every time you choose to ask, to seek, to wake up, you eat the fruit. And that's the real secret. The Garden of Eden isn't a place in the past, it's in your mind. And you're still standing before that tree every single day with a choice: eat or obey. Now, there's a lot more to the story, and if you want to know the real reason.
You know what I'm saying? Get me? That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. I have to play a next one next Sunday or something. That's enough for today with that shit, though. But yeah, man, I told you. See, when something don't make sense, it can't be true. And the way they're just like, I'm not standing here speaking up for women and that, but the way they demonize women and just like make them out of nothing, make out like women are nothing. That's always fucked with my mind. Do you understand? That's always fucked with my mind. That's why I've always looked into that kind of topic. You understand? See nature, get me? Feminine. Nature's feminine. You understand? Nothing I can say right now about the woman, the power of the woman. I don't even think most women know what kind of power they got. I really don't think. Women got a lot of power, man. They control the world and just don't know it, man. You know what I'm saying? Their minds just battered and bruised. They can have every man on their knees. You understand? They can have every man on their knees. And if men rule the world, right, but a woman can make every man drop to their knees, if you get what I'm trying to say, not sexual, like. If a woman can make every man drop to their knees, because we need women, like, what does that say? Just says people don't know what they're talking about. I'm too tired. I don't even want to play an outro. I'm just going to go. Yo, I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.